Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
We got it! We got it!
New 52 booklet.
Somebody clip this.
Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared. I'm here with Teladia Plays. What's up, brother?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me on again.
And by the time you're watching this, we would have completed the first episode of my Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough, which is super cool. I really enjoyed that, and it was popular. So we'll definitely be doing that. So in terms of like Batfleck, because we thought of if we were going to do a Batfleck movie, a movie series, because Affleck never got one. So we're like, how would we do this? So the idea that I had here was, okay, so I think the first movie at least ends with BVS, or at least links to it. That way it's like a smooth transition. Plus, it's in keeping with the way Snyder does his movies, because you know how one film leads into another? So in other words, the movie progression is Man of Steel, Batman, then BVS. So you could kind of like roll with that. And personally, I think it should. I don't think it should like be in the beginning, the death of Jason Todd. I think that should be the very end. Like everything goes wrong for Batman.
Right.
Like essentially what you could do is have it where, okay, so you could have where in the beginning of Batman, he's hanging out with Jason Todd. He's moderately happy. He's married to Selena Kyle, because that was a plot point Zack wanted to have, where Batman was married to Catwoman. Suck it, Tom King. And then so he's pretty good, and he's also thinking of retiring. Let's put that in there. Then Jason gets killed. Like, let's say the midpoint of the movie, he gets killed by the Joker. Then what you could have is he essentially like hunts down the Joker and gets dark. The reason why I would leave it, I would put in the middle, because in the first half we have about as happy Batman as you can get, and then the second half is essentially pissed off Batman beating the crap out of people, and then you see one by one the Bat family starts to distance themselves from Bruce.
Right.
So essentially he loses allies, and finally, I see Nick has said in the past that you make like Dick Grayson be like dead at the Metropolis thing. I disagree with that on the point that the reason why it kind of works is because there's another reason why Batman is like pissed. The reason why Batman is pissed at Superman for like what happened in Man of Steel is because it's like gods that don't seem to like consider the people. So I thought just leave it as like average people die. What do you think? What are some of your ideas?
So obviously I would do similar to what you did. Like obviously the first act being a happy Batman or whatever. Then in the middle, obviously you get to see Nightwing go his distance. Like, you know how in the Batman animated series where Dick Grayson from Robin leaves Batman in, I can't remember the season, but it's in the animated show. If you guys watch it, you know what I'm on about.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously in that part of the segment, it's like the whole Joker thing is planned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were setting up to kill either Batman or Robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the death being Robin, it comes near towards the end of the film. And then at the end of the film, get like a fast jump, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you get them, and then you get the Man of Steel ending, which is where Bruce, you get to see Bruce's perspective, except for he's in Gotham at the moment, and he sees what's going on in Metropolis. So he immediately jets it, goes straight to the helicopter, and then you get to the BVS opening. Right, that's what I would do. Now I know a lot of people might not like that idea, but it's my opinion, and honestly, that's what I really think. That's how I would envision a much more fleshed out Batman film than jumping from Man of Steel straight to BVS.
Yeah,
That's what I
because that was the problem. And again, like I said before, I've said many times on this podcast and my other podcast that the reason why I think that people had such a violent reaction to Batfleck killing, even though they shouldn't, it's in keeping with that Batman's character, that was our first time seeing that Batman. If you had seen the progression, and this isn't a ding on Zack, it's a ding on Warner Brothers, so it's their fault. But if we had seen that fall, I think people would have been like, okay, we had this Batman. Oh, but now he like loses everything, and now he has to like rebuild himself. So I think it would have been an easier transition.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you use the de-aging technology?
No.
Back then?
No, because as far as we know, because all we know is that Batman has been Batman for 30 years, but by the time BVS starts, we don't necessarily know how soon it is after Robin dies that BVS starts. You could make it like a year or two, or even like a couple of months previous that whole thing happens and everything falls apart. You don't necessarily have to use de-aging. Plus, I hate de-aging. It never looks good. So I'm like, you know what? There's not exactly a reason to do it in my mind.
Okay, which is understandable, and I really respect your opinion.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, I would do maybe 3 years before the events of Man of Steel.
You could do that. You could do that. I could see that.
Because that way, Ben obviously would still be that age. Like, he'd still be able to play a little bit younger Batman. But at the same time, he has that knowledge of being Gotham's protector, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've never seen an older Bruce be a protective Batman, right? If you know what I mean.
We've never. Not necessarily.
That.
I mean, we kind of got that in Dark Knight Rises, but that movie's horrible. Well, it's not horrible. It's just way too long.
Now, what I mean is like a 40-year-old man.
Yeah. In other words, a more like mature Batman. In other words, thank you. Yeah, I think that could be really cool. Now, in terms of like, so obviously, I would put the villain for movie 1 be the Joker, because that way you have like the whole. Yes, I would start with the Joker for one villain, one movie. That's it. It's not gonna be a trilogy of movies where he fights the Joker. 2. He fights Deathstroke. 2 is the original Ben Affleck Batman movie. And
that's it. Sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say that takes place after Justice League.
Yes, because this way you have this Batman that's like newly renewed with hope, and he's trying to like rebuild his life, in other words. You could have a subplot. He tries to get Selina back. He goes to Bloodhaven and visits Nightwing and says, listen, I screwed up. Okay, I took my frustration out on people, and you know what? I'm trying to do better. So in other words, the movie ends with like the Bat family and Batman teaming up against Deathstroke. So in other words, he earns back their trust. Movie 3, Under the Red Hood. Here's why I say that. Because you have the Bat family back. So you can have the Bat family show up in that movie. But what you could have a scene. Because part of the reason why the animated Under the Red Hood movie is so good is because you have that whole confrontation between Batman and Jason where he goes, where he essentially goes, Bruce, I'm doing what you won't do. We can retcon it. So Jason was alive during the events of BVS and watching Batman from the shadows, because that's what Jason did after he came back to life. And he's seeing Batman being more brutal, and he goes, that's the way to do it. So Jason Todd killing people and being brutal is directly because of Batman. So in other words, when he confronts Batman, he's saying, I'm doing what you did, you hypocrite. And then Bruce goes, I was wrong, Jason.
That is something I agree with you. That's something I would do as well, like in terms of like a storyline, right? Mm-hmm. Because it makes sense, right? After the Deathstroke film, because the Deathstroke film would be like something like out of the video game Batman Arkham Origins. Right?
Pretty much.
That's
what it was storyboarded. If you look at the storyboards,
yeah, it literally would be cool. A very cool thing though is the only thing I would add in that Deathstroke film is Selina Kyle.
Well, yes, yes, I would put her in there because part of the subplot of that movie is Batman trying to get his wife back. and then we can
actually
have
do-
it where she has a kid, so we can bring in like Helena Wayne or something like that.
Yes,
Kind of make it Earth 2. I would hold off on introducing Damien.
No, I wouldn't introduce Damien at all. I was just like, no.
Yeah, because you know what, that kind of works only for like a younger-ish Batman, not really for the 40-year-old Batman.
Like if I'm honest with you, it's like if you're gonna do like an older sibling, sorry, a older mature Batman with a kid, it has to be Helena Wayne. No questions asked. She becomes
Earth
the
2.
Huntress.
That's what that was.
Yeah, she becomes the Huntress, which is probably one of the most popular characters in the DC, in one of the most popular female characters in the DC mythos, alongside Batgirl. And if you think about it,
you know what's kind of funny? This sounds a lot like the Earth 2 comics, which if you don't know what that was, that's the SnyderVerse for you, because it's well close to it in that Apocalypse takes over at the end. Spoiler alert. So there you go. So you could just do that.
And it makes sense. This is why, like, I think Helena Wayne would be a very interesting character to bring into the fold of Ben Affleck's Batman movies, right? Mm-hmm. But I would do the Helena Wayne like introduction. She'd be a little bit older. Would be at the ending of Under the Red Hood, right?
Yeah. Like let's say she was on her own journey training. That's why Selena didn't mention her, or she didn't show up in like the Deathstroke movie, and then she comes back as Huntress. We can have it where here's the thing. Here's how we introduce you. You ready? So Batman and Red Hood are fighting. Red Hood gets the upper hand, and then he's like hit in the shoulder with a purple arrow. Not killed, obviously, but like you know how like some guys are injured with the arrow and they run off. Yeah. And then Batman sees this woman in like purple. He goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm your shadow, father."
So cold.
There you go.
So cold.
And then Batfleck movie 4 is a Batman Huntress team up movie
with Selena Kyle.
It's essentially here's what you call the movie. Are you ready? Batman Catwoman, heir to the cowl, because it's she's the daughter that will possibly eventually inherit the Bat mantle.
You know what? I'm actually imagining it right now, and I can see it. I can actually see that title going, and it has like the dun, 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 dun,
yes, the kick-ass Junkie XL Batman theme, which that and the theme from The Batman are like my two favorite Batman themes like ever.
It literally, like, I think if Ben Affleck had his way and we had a trilogy of films from him, can you just imagine what he would have done even after the Deathstroke film and the Under the Red Hood film?
Because what you can do is that, so spoiler alert for the storyboards, Batman dies at the end of Justice League 3. Instead of having it where he has a kid with Lois, because no one wants to be with Lois Lane. By the way, in our SnyderVerse, Superman's with Wonder Woman instead of Lois Lane. We're just stopping that. But anyway, instead of the Lois Lane plot, the person that takes over the mantle of the Bat is Helen at the end of the movie. At the end of Justice League 3, the Bat signal comes out. A shadowy cloaked figure steps out from behind the Bat signal, and it's Helena in like a Bat woman suit.
Yes, that would be so cool to see on film. And
then if you wanted to do an epilogue movie, you call it Justice League: The Next Generation.
You got it. You just thought of what I was just thinking right now.
Yeah, I know, because that way it's a nice like transition, because obviously we're not going to do a bunch of movies about the kids, but it's a nice way to like wind down the universe by showing, yes, the parents have retired, or as much as you can if you're a Justice League member, but their kids are taking over now.
So I would do like something like Kingdom Come.
Right? Yeah, exactly, because that's kind of what happens because they did a sequel to that drawn by Alex Ross, where it's like what happens after Kingdom Come, and it's like in increments of like 100 years, and then eventually the lineage of Superman in the Kingdom Come universe leads to the creation of the Legion of Superheroes.
Exactly. And this is why I think if I was in Zack's position right now, I'd be like, Teladia, Jared, you guys are coming up with some great stories here. Why don't you come and work with me?
Yes. First off, if Zack offered me a job to come and work for him in creative, I'd be like, yes, let's do it. Hell yeah, let's do it.
We literally know Jared is the comics lord, guys.
I could fix DC like that.
Yeah.
Literally like that. There's no doubt in my mind that I could take this fledgling company and I could fix WB as well. Not to toot my own horn, but let me put it this way. Even though I don't have experience with business except for a small YouTube channel, I guarantee you I could do better than whoever the hell is running it right now.
Yes. Like, for me personally, I just think, like, at least, if Ben and Zack were, like, if Zack got producer role and Ben was just, like executive producer, not directing, but I would have
Nolan.
No.
All right.
I'm not having Nolan anywhere near that. I would have somebody like maybe Guy Ritchie or Matthew Vaughn do a Batman film. That would be really cool.
I could see that. They could really have some fun with that because they do a lot of spy-ish movies, and Batman's kind of the spy character of the Justice League. So that could actually be really cool. Plus, they do a lot of gadget-like films, so that could actually work really well.
Yeah, so I thought about this. I was thinking, who could be the director for the trilogy of films? So obviously, have Ben do the Deathstroke film.
Yeah.
The first film that Ben does is done by Guy Ritchie or Matthew Vaughn. Right? Yeah. And then the third film is the same, one or the other.
And then a producer credit is Frank Miller.
There you go.
Because let's face it, Zack's Batman is heavily inspired by Frank Miller. How BVS is basically Dark Knight Returns until it turns into the death of Superman.
But it essentially, like, I would like to see Zack as an executive producer.
Yeah. Zack would obviously be like guiding it creatively, saying, put it more so it aligns with where Ben is going to go in the future.
With Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 and Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 3.
You could even have a Batgirl movie as a big FU to Warner Brothers and have it be with like Barbara mentoring like Helena.
You know what? I think
that way you get the female empowerment movie and then you get to stick it to the old regime.
And you know what? Who else would be on board on this, Jared? Baby Hands.
Perp, of course. By the way, here's what I would call the Batgirl movie to screw with Warner Bros. You ready? Batgirl Reborn. I would bring back the directors that did Batgirl because they deserve a chance to direct, to have their DC work shown. I would say, listen, it's deleted, so I can't release that movie. You can come back and delete this and direct this movie. Man, that was a Freudian slip. Direct this Batgirls movie. All you gotta do is make sure it aligns here, because I get the feeling it would be less confusing than asking how is J.K. Simmons in the '89 universe. I know, and Warner Brothers was like, oh, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
That didn't work.
But I think if the Flash had that ending where Ben returns with Henry and whatnot, right?
Or like the find us, you have to find us thing. They could still done the Batfleck movie then and just said it takes place on the Batfleck Earth.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool.
It's not like they couldn't do it until they got back to that Earth.
You know what would I can just imagine this right now. So the Ben Affleck's Batman, his portrayal of Batman is 10 to 20 years, right? From where he started with Jason. All the way up to the end of with Helena, but you also get the inkling feeling of the Batman Beyond.
Yes, you could do that.
You could set that up, but with Amanda Waller comes in, she's seen obviously been on. The
got it. What you do is you make it so Helena essentially fulfills the Bruce role of Batman Beyond, and then Terry, the reason why she is so protective with the Bat identity, she's like, I'm protecting my father's
legacy
as an FU to James Gunn. And then essentially she's the mentor, and you can even have references to the other Batfleck movies, like the trophy wall, the different bat suits in the illuminated glass. and you could see like the BVS one. She goes, "Why is there a big ass handprint in the metal suit?" And then I'm like, oh, he fought a Kryptonian sun god, and then Terry is like, a what?
Yes.
You could kind of bring in some humor there.
And then what also happens is you get the flashback scene. That would be dope.
Yeah, you could do a flashback scene too.
The flashback scene but it's already been recorded already with Zack. So you just bring that clip in and place it in the movie. Just imagine that though, right? It would, this would keeps Ben's Batman's legacy lasting a long period of time for nearly 20, 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't need to depend on Michael Keaton being old man Batman.
No, you wouldn't have geriatric Batman. He has a Batwalker.
No, you wouldn't, because you have that legacy character as Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. And you could call the Batman Beyond movie Legacy of the Bat.
That works. And then the title of the title or the subtitle is Batman Rebirth or Batman Reborn. Or something
essentially. And then that would be the end of the Batman series of movies. That's it. Yeah. That's where it ends. Because it's essentially establishing there will always be a Batman.
Yeah, from start to finish.
No matter what, there will always be a Batman. And then maybe we could do an origin story for essentially him and have it take place before Man of Steel and BVS and stuff.
But they've
done that so many times, and they did that in BVS. But I'm saying, what was he doing between the death of his parents? But we had Batman Begins. That's the thing. Batman Begins is makes that difficult because we essentially be repeating that movie.
I had an idea.
What?
Connect Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins and the Dark
Knight. Make it so that was secretly Ben Affleck in a bodysuit or something like that, like a camouflage.
Canonize it to the Zack Snyder's universe. That way, you don't need to worry about what was Batman like when he was in younger years, and you wouldn't need to include the Dark Knight Rises. That wouldn't be canonized. It would be just the two films. And
the problem with that is that Bale looks nothing like Ben Affleck, so it's not believable that he would age into Ben Affleck. And
right, you're right.
Why would Ra's al Ghul never show? Well, I know that, but it's kind of. I see where you're going for, and honestly, it sounds like something Warner Brothers would do. But
it would be.
Yeah. In terms of where I could see this, it's they could do that. It's just what they could do is have the movie, but it takes place just in the League of Shadows thing. And you can tease Damian here. We never see him until maybe actually, you know what? We never see him, or what? Don't even have the kid. Still have the brief fling with Talia. And then the last third of the movie, he's Batman and he meets Catwoman. That way you establish that Catwoman has been with him since the very beginning.
Yeah.
And we can make it where what really pushes Batman over the edge, what makes him descend into that darkness completely. I mean, yes, the Jason thing. We can even have it where he acts in his rage. It's Nightwing is constantly telling him, dude, you're going too far. You're going too far. You're going to eventually kill someone. Batman punches Nightwing by accident in a rage, and then Nightwing leaves.
Wait. I got to say this. The fever, the rage.
There you go.
The men. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely do that. You could 100% do that. That would really work. I could definitely see that coming.
Yeah. Just that line alone.
That was such a good line.
Just imagine playing that in one of the Batman trailers that Ben Affleck did, right? I can just imagine it now. Saying
you could repeat that in the scene and the part of the trailer where it shows Batman the Joker approaches so Robin's tied up in the chair and
yes,
all you see is the Joker's pants and the crowbar. And just walks. It's everything's changed. This is how it's. And then as he's walking, you hear Alfred go, this is how it starts: the fever, the rage that turns good men cruel, and then the Batman.
There you go, guys. Honestly,
Death in the family. There you go.
We literally, guys, when you're watching this,
in 24 minutes, we just fixed DC's Batman.
Yeah, in 24 minutes, we just fixed DC's Batman. Or 25 minutes, I should say. We finished. We just literally fixed DC's brand for the Bat. And can you just imagine the amount of games that would come out because of the Batman
action figures? Because you could have different bat suits. You could have the original.
Toys.
Yeah, yeah, and that would become my shelf. You can have is like he has like a basic suit from like he has like a proto bat suit from the beginning. You can even give it like the purple gloves from like year 0 on the New 52. Make that his suit, and then you have like the BVS suit, obviously the tactical suit. You can get. They gave him a new suit for the Deathstroke movie. I'm actually going to pull that up.
Oh, I saw that. I know what you're on about.
Yeah. A Batfleck suit movie. Because they were going to give him a brand new bat suit, which I think looked really, really, really. I'm going to go to there and here. Okay. So check this out. Yeah. Because what I like about this is that it's sleeker. It's like leaner. You could say that like that bat suit that he wore in like BVS and Justice League, because he went so dark previous to that, Batman is like very like, he's disgusted. He can't look at that suit anymore without imagining how dark he went. So he still has in the Batcave as a reminder of how bad it can get.
Yes. And
obviously, by the way, we would have like Superman show up occasionally just to like essentially you would have like Bruce is having like lunch with Clark. Not have Superman show up and like solve everything. Just establish he's in this universe.
So what did it with that Death in the Family film where...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, where he was in the diner and Bruce was telling Clark the story of Jason and from his perspective.
Exactly.
That would work. It would definitely get
you put these tiny sprinklings of like other Justice League people in these movies. Again, they're glorified cameos just to place this in the world.
It's just placing the seeds. Basically,
you could also do it where like they each have a different suit for when they show up, because that way it establishes time in the timeline. Like this takes place after the Flash because he has that lighter suit. Wonder Woman has the golden armor suit, so it takes place after this movie. Superman has the new Superman has I almost said new 52 suit, but here's the problem. Ever since James Gunn released that crappy suit, I can't say that anymore.
No,
because it's too padded. No, the point is, he has a suit. We can have Superman gets a new suit. The point is, you have the Justice League members occasionally change suits in their own movies, obviously, so that it establishes the timeline.
I got it.
What?
The suit from Superman Lois, except for it's got like the Kryptonian and everything in it.
True. Or, okay, here's what you can do: the Kingdom Come suit.
Do you want Trunks?
No. And here's what you do. All right. So the Kingdom Come suit is the suit for like JL, let's say 3.
Yeah.
When he goes back to the Kryptonian ship to get his suit, is the Kingdom Come suit. The movie before the Justice League's kids is Kingdom Come.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen a fan edit of it where the emblem is black and red.
It's
right?
that. It's that, because that way you establish, because the older heroes kind of retire at the end of that. So you could definitely, because that's the transition into the kids. That it's basically adapting that whole arc from Kingdom Come all the way to like the Kingdom.
It makes, Jared, you're making some really, really valid points.
Yeah.
It's just that Warner Brothers will never listen to us.
Warner Brothers won't, because they don't know how to run the DC brand. And it's not like this isn't just a Zack Snyder a thing. They've been doing this since the Reeves movies, because the Donner cut.
Yes.
So it's not like it's a new thing that Warner Brothers has been royally screwing up this brand.
But you know what Zack Snyder has to say? Play the clip.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yes. Let me do that. I'm going to my clips right now. Where is that? Right here.
Why did you say that name?
And I had to play that one because I talked about Warner Brothers, but I know the one you really want me to clip.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Zack would say, "Suck it, Warner Brothers."
Yeah, because let's face it, they don't. At this point, they don't deserve the DC brand. And honestly, I think that's what's keeping them from selling to Netflix because they're afraid that they'll see a group that knows how to use the DC brand better than Warner Brothers does.
And look what happens when Zack's over there, when Zack's mentioned, his name pops up on Twitter, on social media. There's buzz, and even when he gets hate, they're still talking about Zack. You see what I mean? You see what I'm trying to say? It's like, if it's a SnyderVerse related film, you will make money. And if you're doing something else,
Just respect the fans. You can do both. This is what Warner Brothers doesn't realize. Can you imagine if they said we're going to have the SnyderVerse and the Gunverse because we can have two at the same time? This is a big F you to Marvel. We're doing the multiverse better than you are.
oh, I just had a thought. What if we call the SnyderVerse the Earth of Kingdom Come?
Earth 22, essentially. You
Yeah.
designate it as Earth 22. That is actually excellent, dude. Wow. That's great because it is the darker Earth. I don't know why I didn't think of this.
You know what? I just come up with it. I'm just like, you know what?
There you go. It's a fantastic idea. That's the darker Earth of DC anyway.
Yeah, literally.
There's this great line in Justice League, in like a Justice League comic. So the JLA and JSA are teaming up to find the Legion. It's kind of funny. Starman had like traveled to Earth 22 by accident, and he goes, "Yeah, I went to Earth 22. Everyone was like really depressing and wanted to fight each other all the time."
This was what we could set up.
Hey,
Like
there
the
you go.
SnyderVerse.
You can even call it DC Earth 22. That's the name of the universe. Obviously, colloquially, it would be known as the Snyderverse, but that's what they can designate it as.
You know what? I might bring this up as still.
And hey, here's what they do. Because you know what they could do? Yes, DC could have an ultimate universe, not only in the comics, but in the films.
Yeah, exactly.
That way you can have the James Gunn universe that probably won't last past Superman, otherwise known as Justice League. And you can have the way more popular and profitable Snyderverse.
And
Everyone's happy.
But they can call that universe Earth 1.
I don't care because Earth 22
James
is
Gunn.
cooler.
But Earth 22, way better, way darker, and will be interesting. You know what will be really cool is to have not only Frank Miller attached to it and Zack Snyder,
Alex Ross.
Alex Ross.
All the posters for the Kingdom Come movie are recreations of the Kingdom Come stuff, but with the actors.
So you remember Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
When the intro is all Alex Ross.
Yes, they could do that too.
They could do that for the Snyderverse film, whether it's Justice League or whether it's Batman or Superman films. They could just do it like that, and it sells.
Like, imagine this. Here's the poster. Here's the announcement poster. You ready?
Yeah.
Imagine this with the Snyderverse cast.
Yes.
Henry Cavill in the middle, Gal Gadot there. You could have Henry Cavill and like Zachary Levi or even Black Adam.
Yes.
Hey, right here, because they kind of recreated that poster for like the original Justice League marketing campaign, but we'd reclaim it and take it away from He Who Must Not Be Named.
Yes. And literally, this could actually help DC brand synergy, right?
Yeah,
Because
plus the fact you're grabbing what is probably the story that DC is known for the most.
And people would buy the Kingdom Come book.
Yes, you could say, for information on this book, read this. For the kid movie, read The Kingdom, or like whatever the sequel was to Kingdom Come.
And the Justice League films was the one with Paul Dini and Alex Ross.
That too, Justice and like No Justice. They could say you read like Justice and Jeff Johns' Justice League, Dark Side War, and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you connect a universe, Warner Brothers. I'm sorry, this had to be said.
And then you can have a Crisis movie where like the two universes and the Arrowverse, all of them, they all converge For
And
Christ.
that's like,
You could have Tyler Hoechlin, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, not Christopher Reeve. We'd respect that he's dead.
yeah,
So you would have like all the alive actors teaming up against the Anti-Monitor.
you would have essentially 3 Superman, like they did in a
Three or so Wonder Women, Grant Gustin alongside whoever they replace Ezra with, because I'm convinced that if they bring back the SnyderVerse, they're not bringing Ezra back.
Nope, they're not bringing Ezra back. But, they could also introduce Anthony Starr, just saying, Reverse Flash.
Oh, wait. You could also have it where you could have Jason Momoa teaming up with Alan Ritchson from Smallville because he played Aquaman in Smallville.
Yes.
There you go. And then you know what's kind of funny? It would be that meme from James Gunn's Suicide Squad where like he goes, he's you, but better.
And as they say in the Wonder Woman film that we must not name, life could be good, but you can make it just better.
Yeah, exactly. See, we just fixed DC's films. We're not saying throw away James Gunn's universe. We're saying also give us this. Because if you give us this as well, and the audiences are not going to be confused. I guarantee you, people are going to know that David Cornsweet exists in a different universe than Henry Cavill.
And the Henry Cavill Superman is the one that is the dark and gritty universe, which is the F-22 universe.
Teladia, do you know how I know this? We had the Batman come out, and then shortly thereafter, the Flash, which featured 2 Batman. Actually, 3, actually.
Yeah, technically 3, yeah.
Technically 3. 2 in suit, 3 total.
Yes.
This is the simplest thing ever.
It's just
when
that
you respect the fans, you get more stuff. It's like they're like, well, they don't want James Gunn. They want the Snyderverse to compete with the James Gunn universe. And I'm sorry. That is the most moronic argument I have ever heard. Do you know why, Teladia?
Please, educate me.
Because Warner Brothers still gets the frickin' money. DC Studios still gets... It still goes into Wonder... It's not like Zack pockets all the money. It still goes to Warner Brothers.
You know what?
You're still getting rich.
You know what? We should have brought this up on our SnyderVerse recording when we did that.
We're going to do that at some point. We'll probably end up doing that on the member stream and CLD at this point.
Yeah, literally. I just can't believe we just come up with something from Batman films.
From a Batman film to, we just fixed the entire DC film universe. Well, you know what? This is awesome. Hire us, DC. We'll fix your universe.
Hire us. Call us on this number.
Oh, and if I'm in charge, I tell James Gunn, make a different Superman suit because that sucks.
I would just say, look, get rid of the trunks and
get rid of the trunks and the padding. Superman does not need knee pads.
I don't mind the collar. I don't mind the thing. I just want no trunks.
I think if he got rid, because that's the thing. When you actually look at the new 52 suit, and I believe you have because it was introduced early in the Grant Morrison Action Comics run. You see it? It's a regular Superman suit. People just thought it was armor because of the lines. I mean, it kind of is armor, but it's more like Henry Cavill's suit, how it's like a Kryptonian garb. That's what it is.
That's what James.
It's not armor. But with this, it looks like freaking body armor, and I'm like, you don't MCUify Superman.
You need to look. I don't think he read Grant Morrison's run. I genuinely
don't think he, or he hasn't in a while, because that's not. It's not armor. It's clearly not armor.
I don't think he. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he clearly read the comic where it literally shows in the New 52 Superman's Kryptonian heritage emblem, and it changes when he puts it on. Right, with the S emblem, right?
But the problem with the suit, and I know we just went from Batman movie to Superman suit, but we'll talk about it briefly and then we'll wrap up, is that he's trying to make everyone happy when he's combined the new 52 suit, the Kingdom Come logo, the trunks, and I'm like, you can't do all of these things. Make a choice and stick with it. If he had gone with the Christopher Reeve-like style suit, but texturized it, and like made it look more modern, I would have said, he's going right back to that. But I would have respected it more. With this, it's like when you try and like honor something, but you end up insulting it.
Exactly. But
that's what it is.
That's what we got to say about today's episode. I know it's a crazy.
This is a nutball episode, but hey,
this is a crazy episode.
This is the way you 102 games normally go. So there you go.
Yeah.
So On that note, so Teladia, do you have anything you want to promote? And bear in mind, this is releasing tomorrow on Friday.
So, guys, later on today, if you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, come to my channel. We'll be live watch along with myself, Jared from Comics League, Ruth, David, and also Jay here, maybe Nick as well, as we're going to be watching Lego Batman, the movie. And yes, Batman doesn't do ships. And also, I will be doing Snyder Fans Read Comics next week, where we're going to be talking about Superman taking on Cheetah. So that's what we got to be talking about.
We'll see. So in terms of, for me, again, I'll be on Teladia's channel doing his stuff. We'll be on CLD. Movie night is going to be, as usual, as I bring up regularly, Spider-Man 2. Super Wonder Legacy. Brit are going to be having another live stream because we are celebrating 40 episodes. We're going to be providing the most comprehensive Superman and Wonder Woman reading list for all you Super Wonder fans. So be sure to show up for that at 9 p.m. Eastern. And in terms of
the Batman Arkham stream.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be doing... so the way my gaming streams are going to be... Thank you, Teladia. I know what I do without you. So the way this is going to work is that since you guys had a positive reception to the Assassin's Creed Odyssey stream, I'm going to proceed with my plan where every other week I'm going to alternate games. In other words, so since I did Assassin's Creed this week, next week I'm going to do Batman, and then I'm going to continue alternating every week. It's just that way we put a little more variety, so it's not like I'm playing more Batman.
Yeah.
And essentially, when I play Assassin's Creed, we're playing as Wonder Woman. Yeah. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs with General Zod. Zoe is the Max about for life. See you later.